As you was just talking a moment ago, I just saw a big yellow glow around you like the sun, and then these big wings just came out. Now, I had a vision about 2 weeks ago, and it was like I was on a bus and I was holding a baby, and this baby kept on crying, and then I saw my ex, because my daughter's in the spirit world now, she's transitioned, and it was like I was trying to comfort her, and then you came through on this white horse. I keep on seeing you on this white horse with these big massive wings, and you said to me, second chance, and then you just flew off. And then the baby just went quiet, because I had a bottle at that point, and she started drinking it and she's been calm. Now, I've had visions before that where you kept on saying to me, you need to come. And I said to my brother, how am I going to get here to the seminar, because I haven't got no money, my finances is really tight at the moment. And he said to me, don't worry. And one of the ancestors came through to me, the Jade Emperor, said to me, I'll help you, you will get here, don't worry. And then last week my brother said to me, don't worry sis, I'll sort it out, I'll give you some money, I'll pay on my card. You're coming to this because this is your calling, you need to come to this seminar. Because I missed the last one that you had here in London, and he said you have to reach. So he dropped me off here this morning, so I'm glad to be here. It's my first time, so I'm embracing it and I'm enjoying it, and I hope I learn a lot from today.
Having the courage to share that, because most people who I come to, they pass it off as, wow, I have a really wild imagination. And then most people, if they allow themselves to remember it, it becomes a dirty secret, because they don't want people to think that they're crazy. And some people get upset with me when they see those things. And then they stop talking to me. They'll unfriend me on Facebook like, how dare you come to my dreams on a white horse with wings? Who do you think you are? Unfriend. However, you know, there is a great reason for that. And
Okay. Hello. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Very, very kind. And thank you, Nikisha and Darius. Very, very beautiful. I can't wait to go back and listen to some of the, I didn't catch everything, but I got a couple of laughs out of it. So this is the Apotheosis Seminar. And this is an empowerment seminar that will represent Ashe. And Ashe, for people who may not know, means divine providence or divine power. When people don't have the presence of, or enough of the presence and the influence of divine power within their consciousness, they perish. They cease to exist. So empowerment seminars happen across the worlds that are sentient and habitable, with people who are on a schedule of higher evolution. Higher evolution equates to the Creator's wish, because, and I want to say this, most of the things are off the top of the head, but the Creator is not something that we really could fathom. The highest gods are called the ultra gods. The ultra gods never interface, they never have a reason to interface with humans. Ultra gods would be, we would be microbacteria to ultra gods. And then I would ask you to help to understand the metaphor better. How many of you interface with the microbacteria consciously and have conversations with them? So this is an example of how expansive the creation is. And when you look at ultra gods, which are the highest gods, and there's nothing written about them that we could glean, they still pale in comparison to the measurement of how the creator of all actually is everything. So the problem that I have been exposing and bringing to the light is that when you go to the Bible and you go to other religions, and the term God should not be applied to the creator of all. And I will invite all of you to stop saying God unless you are describing a superior or divine being. When you say God, address God to the way that I would say Christopher Santiago, or Jason Fells, or Jeffrey Raymond, or Elizabeth Marati. I would address you as your proper name. When you say God and you think you are dealing with the creator, you are not. And I said past couple of days that we have to unlearn some of the things that have been taught to us by addressing the creator for now as the creator of all. That would represent a major shift in how you are seen and a major shift in your consciousness, okay? So if everything that you guys learn here today you take seriously and you apply it to make it something that it becomes wisdom and that you know that you could refer to even in conversation, that will represent a grand benefit to you, okay? So one of the things I like to do is I like to warm up a little bit with just a few questions just to get my vocal cords ready as an exercise. So I'll answer 3 or 4 questions before we get into it. Anthony Upscale's photos, one of my students. How you doing today? Good to see you again, sir.
Greetings, Tree Master.
Greetings.
What I experienced in the Aqua Reiki. It's 3 highlights. I felt like I was floating on water as I was meditating. I saw a bright white light and a white body of light emerge from it. And I saw you lighting some incense as if you were in a seminar. During that time, I was invited to a Kundalini activation. And you was like, I need someone to step up and assist. And I stepped up, I assist, but it was something different about the process. I saw a gentleman, I put my hand on his chest, and I said the sequence of power that summons divine being of light. And the gentleman, I felt the energy go through my hand, and he went to sleep. So I grabbed him, laid him down, and then I had a piece of paper, and I was reciting some words that I didn't understand, but I got it out. I walked away, and when I turned around, I saw my co-worker, which is sitting right next to me. He was on the ground, and you was pouring oil all over his face, and it was so much that you grabbed the bottle and you took some of it, and he got up and he started wiping his face, and yeah, that's the highlight. So could you enlighten me and expound on that experience I had for the Aqua Reiki?
Oh, Aqua Reiki is another template that is built in. Kundalini Reiki is a modality that allows us to heal ourselves, the planet, our environment, and our loved ones. So Aqua Reiki was a gift that was given to us a couple of years ago by the gods that basically maintain the systems of the water, which gives us life on this planet, hydration, fluidity, and buoyancy. When you accept that into your consciousness, it opens up a window that you can interface with the beings of the aquatic kingdom. Literally, you were made to see a ceremony that happened, and part of your consciousness goes into take part in that. It's something that humans would really do well to get used to. Some of these things that happen as a result of a ritual that you may perform, we have to get used to dealing with other parts of ourselves outside of the body. because your soul and your total, what you think your consciousness is trapped, entombed, and locked inside of your body. But the escape and part of the ascension is going to be made easier if it's not so weird for you to look at yourself over here and over there and in different realms, in the water, in the sun, on the stars, in space. This will make it easier for you to accept the multidimensionality of who you are already and distance yourself from being locked into the linear nature of the human default program. So that's what that represented. And thank you for sharing that with us. And we have to move on, because, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Just for the record, I forgot to add that experience with my coworker, that was actually a recording after I called in the attunement. So I just wanted to, yeah.
Right, I'm hip. Definitely. Okay. Any other questions? Branson, another one of our students.
Greetings, Street Master. Greetings, everybody. So on Grandfather Jade Emperor's birthday, I was driving around 4 a.m. I saw a meteor shoot through the sky, beautiful emerald green, then it dissipated. What was that about?
Let me look at you for a minute. Turn this way. Okay, so what were you doing on that day?
I was driving home.
Okay, on where exactly were you?
Oh, well, actually, I was driving to my mother's house in Brooklyn.
Okay. A lot of times what we see in the sky that we perceive as, you know, radiant lights or meteorites or stars glistening or things, that's not really what it is sometimes. So the Jade Emperor's birthday is on January the 9th. I'll just ask you to help you. Do you think it is a coincidence that you were on your way, you were in transit at what time in the morning?
About 4 a.m.
About 4 a.m., which is a derivative of Galighticus, and you just happened to see a shooting meteorite that happened to be the color of green,
Yeah.
right? What do you think it was?
I figured it was a sign to send him some money on his birthday.
The Jade Emperor doesn't need you to send him money on his birthday. Like the bad habit that I see people doing on their birthdays on Facebook, you know, GoFundMe, and they're taking. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that's tacky, or you think it's cool for people to do that? Well, the Jade Emperor actually, what that is it's something that nobody else saw but you. And it's easier to create something like that just for you to see, to acknowledge the things about how much and how far you're getting closer to achieving your destiny. If you don't mind me saying, it took Brandon about 5 years to become a student. And Brandon, you know, was working through a lot of different things, as we all are. All of us have things that we have to navigate through. And he finally made the adjustment and the leap to become a student, and we all applauded that. So that is something that measures your commitment, because it's a commitment that you make if you're going to become a student. It's a commitment, and commitments are agreements. Agreements are what make you different from people who are not capable of making the mature choice to align themselves with the cause of why they're even here. This is the reason why people don't know their purpose in life, because they haven't made a commitment to. So now it's easier for you to see things that are going to give you a thumbs up, a green light, and you're going to start seeing a lot more of that because of the commitment that you made. So I would just say it's another wink. And if you continue to just think about it, it will reveal itself to you. But that's not a coincidence. And the fact that it happened on Jade Emperor's birthday and it was green and it happened at 4 a.m, it was a wink directly from him. The reason that I elucidate those things is to help you guys put the pieces of the puzzle together for yourselves so that you can start connecting the dots yourselves, right? And that's how you do it. Look at the synchronicities and look at all of the things and put it together, and then you'll have your answer. So that's fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Greetings, Tree Master. Greetings, everyone else. My name is Nicole, and I'm from Connecticut. My question to you, Tree Master, a few weeks ago, I had a recording where I was in a bodega that I don't usually go to bodegas, and you
Like me, you're kind of selective.
yes.
Okay.
So I'm in the bodega, and I don't even remember what I was picking up, but you came to me in the bodega. You pulled up in the passenger seat of a Cadillac, and the driver was bald-headed and round belly, and you introduced them to me as your uncle. I don't remember anything else. That was just like the highlight of the recording. What did that mean for me?
Do you have a relationship that you are aware of Ogun? No?
No, I do not.
Okay, so Ogun is seeking your, I don't want to say he's seeking your worship, but I want you to read some parakis about the Orisha Ogun. That's who it was. And Ogun deals with steel, metal. He deals with the industry of all things that are our world is built upon. So he's reaching out to you, and that's exactly what it meant. When exactly did you have that recording?
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so Ogun is telling you that if you are open, he can take you from where you are now to where it is that you want to go. He's willing to assist you. It does not mean that he's your divine parent, but he's offering his assistance to you for some reason that I don't know about. And he's using me as a catalyst to convey that message to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. One last question. Christopher? Okay. There's another one of my students, Christopher Santiago.
Thank you, Street Master, for being here and for taking my question. Really
Absolutely,
appreciate it.
you're totally welcome.
Thank you. My question is pertaining to the energy of Archangel Michael. I was hoping you could help clarify some of the connection that I have with him, because it's been the most predominant male divine energy that's been guiding me along my path, clearly for the past few years. When I first learned the practice of ancestor money from you, I had to deal with it in my consciousness for a minute to determine whether it was a valid practice. So I was seeking guidance and prayer, and shortly after, the energy of Archangel Michael came to me in a recording, and he was in a picture. He was not in his full illumination. He was toned down, but he came in a picture that was still. And as I looked at the picture, he unfolded out of the picture, and it was almost as if he was wearing the pattern of the ancestor money as a garment, and the print was all over the background. And the gnosis that I had within was that, okay, this is my confirmation of the practice. So I immediately began to practice burning my ancestor money. And then the energy of the 444 signature has been a constant guiding presence through even some of the mundane things in my life, career decisions. His 444 signature has popped up to give me my confirmations. When I became a student and I transacted, I went to the store and I bought an Archangel Michael candle, a statue, and a picture, and the receipt number was 144. And then lots of other synchronicities, and then even my plane ticket to come here and my hotel accommodations equaled 144.
I saw that.
And 4 cents.
Right.
So this energy has been very significant to me, and I was just wondering if you could elaborate why this energy has been more predominant and succinct than any other for me.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. Very illustrious. So in regards to Archangel Michael and Tahuti, Lord Thoth, and you'll hear me go back and forth between the two names, but they are the same. And Archangel Michael and Lord Thoth specifically created Galighticus on the template of the fours. And they did that to answer a problem that our world is having with inconsistency and people not being connected to the source of their origins. And the closest thing that connects you to your origin is what? Right, your ancestors. Most people are disassociated completely with their ancestors. The mother of my 4 children, we've known each other for over 30 years. And she has watched me persistently salute my altar. And I've been asking her throughout the years. We haven't been together in a very long time, but we're very, very close. And I said, why don't you have an altar? Why aren't you making offerings to your ancestors? I knew both of her grandparents when they were alive, and I knew all this. And she suffers because of it. And she recently just put an altar up. And she recently just started burning ancestor money after all of these years. And I don't know why she didn't want to be involved in that. And I'll get into more of that later. But the confirmation that you had is directly from Archangel Michael that not only is it a valid practice, but it's one of the practices that will help to allow you to complete your destiny here. You also are a Michaelite. So Michaelites have a baseline energetic signature which connects you directly, it hardwires you to Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael works directly for the Creator. Lord Thoth works directly for the Creator of all. That's the reason why they do the will of the Creator and they help people out of their darkness. In the kingdoms of the universe, what has happened is that people already were there. Everything was in divine perfection. And it was conclusive for people to want to go against that and experience what it would be like not to be in it. And then that's when the universe was created and all of the deficits that lie there within. But Archangel Michael said, he asked the Creator if he can help everyone get back once they discover that they made a mistake by leaving the perfection of the Creator, and that's what he did. Lord Thoth also was once an angelic being, which is why he has wings. And they were in the eternal kingdom together. And they vowed to stick together to create things, not just here, but that will help people to get back home into the eternal. And when Archangel Michael, and this is for all of you, and I think I had said this in the love seminar, a lot of times people may suggest that you do something, but should you come across an exalted being, it might be a god, a sage, a mage, an ascended master. There are many different classes of angels, and they come to you and they ask you to do something. It's a polite request, but it would behoove you to do it. Most of the time, they're not going to tell you why, because if you're foolish enough not to do it, then you don't deserve to have why they asked you to do it in the first place, right? So because you're a Michaelite, you have an easier way to communicate with Archangel Michael through your own inner kingdom, and he will answer the call that you have. So that's a beautiful thing, and thank you for sharing that.
Thank you, Master. Appreciate it.
Indeed. I also will say that Archangel Michael has a fleet of angels, and they're very, very busy sending the numbers directly to the spiritual world and the underworld, the wasteland, the human afterlife, and some of the divine realms that are being sent from you. When you want to get in contact with somebody, what do? You either call them on your cell phone, or you email them, or you may hit them up on Instagram, or you DM them, or you inbox them on Facebook, right? That is the contemporary form of how we communicate predominantly with each other in the year 2020. What is the predominant form of communication with our ancestors? And unless we have a plethora of choices to choose from, for now, it is through your recordings and altar interface, but that needs to improve. And there are many ways in which to do that we're going to start highlighting, okay? So thank you everybody for sharing that.